Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Analyst predicts Steelers rookies will win both Rookie of the Year awards. The Pittsburgh Steelers have had a whole lot of praise heaped on them for the way the 2024 NFL Draft played out for them. Without having to move around the draft board, the team was able to make significant additions in areas of need across their roster. As good as the draft class looks right now, it could look even better after the season if one analyst gets his prediction right about wide receiver Roman Wilson and linebacker Peyton Wilson. During an episode of NFL Network's NFL Total Access, Rhett Lewis predicted that the former NC State linebacker would win the Defensive Rookie of the Year award in 2024. Sign him up already for 100 tackles already, Lewis said, via Steelers Depot's Alex Kozora. It's gonna happen. He was an absolute monster on the field for NC State. He has a GPS to the football. Blew up the NFL scouting, combined with his athleticism. He's had some injury concerns, which led to the fall down the draft board, but he landed in a great spot there. He then added that he thinks the former Michigan wide receiver will win Offensive Rookie of the Year, giving the Steelers a sweep of the rookie awards. I'm giving OROY to Roman Wilson. So Roman Wilson and Peyton Wilson, there it is, your Rookies of the Year. There is already a clear favorite to be the NFL's OROY in 2024. Caleb Williams was the top pick in the draft, and the Bears have set him up for success. With Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Cole Kmet, and DeAndre Swift all part of the Bears' offense, Williams is going to have plenty of weapons to lean on in his rookie year. The numbers also don't really work in Wilson's favor. He had the best season of his college career in 2023. That season saw him make 48 catches for 789 yards and 12 touchdowns. The offense he'll be joining in the NFL doesn't lend itself to him improving on those numbers. Over the last 5 years, Arthur Smith spent 2 seasons as an offensive coordinator and 3 as a head coach. His WR2 only reached 789 yards once in those 5 years and never reached 1,000 yards. In 2023, Mac Hollins finished as the WR2 for the Falcons. He made 18 catches for 251 yards. Last season, Puka Nacua set the NFL records for catches and receiving yards for a rookie with 105 catches for 1,486 yards. He didn't win Rookie of the Year. In fact, just 3 of the last 10 Offensive Rookies of the Year have been receivers. Ja'Marr Chase had 81 catches for 1,455 yards. Garrett Wilson had 83 catches for 1,103 in a rookie class that only had 1 QB selected in the first round, and that QB was Kenny Pickett. Odell Beckham Jr. had 91 catches for 1,305 yards in just 12 games as a rookie. Each of those receivers was also the top option on their respective teams. Wilson should be a solid WR2 for the Steelers, but it would be a pretty big surprise for him to put up the kind of numbers needed to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. The field seems a bit more wide open on the defensive side of the ball. While there was plenty of offensive firepower taken off the board early in this year's draft, the first defensive player didn't come off the board until pick 15. The class certainly didn't lack talent, but it also didn't have anybody that was considered a must-have talent like we've seen in recent drafts with Sauce Gardner and Will Anderson. That could give Wilson a chance to become just the 3rd player in the last 20 years to win the award after being drafted outside of round 1. In college, he didn't have the same production issue as the other Wilson the Steelers drafted in round 3. As a sophomore at NC State, he racked up 108 tackles with 11.5 tackles for a loss and 3.5 sacks during the 2020 season. An injury limited him to just 2 games the following year, and he only made 82 tackles in 2022, but he got back to being extremely productive in 2023. This past season, Wilson has 138 total tackles with 17.5 for a loss, 6 sacks, and 3 interceptions in 12 games. If Wilson can beat out a Landon Roberts and Cole Holcomb for the second starting spot at inside linebacker alongside Patrick Queen, he'd have a chance to continue putting up big numbers. If he does, he'll end up having been an absolute steal for the Steelers in the third round. Report: Steelers closing in on significant playmaker. The Pittsburgh Steelers are closing in on landing a massive name after the 2024 NFL Draft. According to former cornerback and current CBS Sports analyst, Bryant McFadden, the team is very close to landing a significant playmaker. This could mean a number of things for the Steelers. The team has been linked to three big names when it comes to wide receivers in Courtland Sutton, Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. They could also be looking at cornerback options after only adding a sixth-round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. Following the NFL Draft, Steelers general manager Omar Khan left the door open for a wide receiver move, referring to the team restructuring Alex Highsmith's contract to create roughly $7 million in available cap space. We'll see. Like I've said, if there's ever an opportunity to improve the team, we'll look at it, and if it makes sense, we're going to go after it, Khan said. But yeah, we restructured Alex's contract, and it puts us in a position to be flexible with some things if there's an opportunity to do something. We'll now wait and see what Pittsburgh has up their sleeve, but after an impressive free agency period and then an aced NFL draft, it appears they're ready to make one more splash before heading to OTAs and minicamp. Seven-time All-Pro LB raves about Steelers' new LB Peyton Wilson. The Pittsburgh Steelers solidified their offensive line with tackle Troy Fautanu and center Zach Frazier in the first two rounds of the 2024 NFL Draft. Then they selected Michigan's Roman Wilson to help fill the team's need at wide receiver. But it's possible the best selection the Steelers made on the first 2 days of the draft was NC State linebacker Peyton Wilson. Sporting News: Vinny Iyer handed the Steelers an A+ for selecting Wilson at number 98 overall in the third round. Furthermore, CBS Sports' Chris Trapasso gave the Steelers an A-, while a variety of other draft experts graded the pick in the AB range. Those rave reviews are impressive, but Wilson receiving praise from a future Pro Football Hall of Fame linebacker is even better. Seven-time All-Pro Luke Kuechly didn't hand out a grade for the Steelers drafting Wilson in the third round. But the former linebacker was very complimentary for Wilson while making an appearance on Up and Adams. At the draft, I always look at linebackers, and there's a guy I loved watching for a long time up at NC State, Peyton Wilson, Kuechly told NFL personality Kay Adams, via Ogienberg on X, formerly Twitter. He ran extremely well. He was in the 4.4s, and he's been super productive, and he plays really hard. In 2023, Wilson was an AP All-American and won the Chuck Bednarik Defensive Player of the Year award. He also captured the Butkus Award, which is given annually to the country's top college linebacker. Over 5 seasons at NC State, Wilson posted 402 total tackles, including 48 tackles for loss and 15 sacks. He also had 7 interceptions and 13 pass defenses. As the retired linebacker continued to praise Wilson, the show listed his measurables along with how Kuechly fared during his NFL Combine. Wilson held a slight edge over Kuechly in the 40-yard dash and in height. That doesn't guarantee anything for Wilson. But it's still noteworthy for a lot of draft evaluators and fans because Kuechly made 5 first-team All-Pros and won the 2013 Defensive Player of the Year award. He's taller than me, and he's faster than me, and he's going to be in the NFL, said Kuechly. The former linebacker even complimented Wilson for his hair. Sports Illustrated's Matt Verderame argued Wilson has first-round talent. Injury concerns, though, allowed him to slip until the third round. The Fayetteville Observer's David Thompson reported on January 18 that Wilson underwent 10 surgeries during his college career. The crux of the remaining message Kuechly had on Wilson was essentially that he needed to take advantage of the opportunity the NFL will present him. Wilson sounds ready to do that. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation of Luke Kuechly? Leave your opinion in the comments.